Hi there. Happy Friday, everyone. It's Catherine from Sunnyside Journals. Welcome. I'm just here with a little quick visit before I get started on my workday. I'm actually just going to do a teeny little bit of work on do-it-yourself, and then I'm going to be pulling out the Blue Book Pilgrim's Progress and work on that today. But I just wanted to show you what I've been doing with do-it-yourself. I got a little bit more finished on her. You'll notice that I put a book plate on it, and it's actually part of a door locking system. This is actually the part that the bolt goes into from a door. But I like how that looks. So, and I decided, I wasn't planning ahead when I started putting DIY together, because I had already put in this pocket. Fortunately, what I did, because I don't trust glue to hold something this heavy. That's actually a legitimate heavy brass piece of metal, and I don't trust glue to hold that. So these are old brass brads. So what I do to put these on is I had to carefully remove this pocket again, and I simply used my box cutter with a fresh blade, and I just simply sliced around the edge really carefully and removed it quite safely. And then what I did was, here I poked two tiny holes so that the brads could go right through. Then I split them, spread them, and pounded them down very flat. I covered them over with paper, really well glued paper, so that it's just really nice and smooth, so that things can still go in and out and they won't grab on the metal brads and make a mess. They're safely glued behind this strip of cardstock that's in behind on the back of that of the cover. So that's how that is. This actually could be slidden out. Oh gee. If somebody wanted to, if they weren't, I decided that happiness really is do it yourself. I believe Viktor Frankl was right when the thing that differentiates humans from animals is that we have the ability to choose our outlook. Even in any circumstance we're in, we can decide what our outlook is. So happiness is do it yourself. You can decide. So that's the word I chose, but that could be, if somebody was determined that they didn't think happiness was do it yourself, they wanted to make their own title, and certainly when this goes to a new owner, it's their journal. They probably could use some set of tweezers and just ease that up out the top. I did put a little bit of glue in the bottom just so that if this was loose, I wasn't sure how this was going to work out. I didn't want it sliding out the bottom, so I did put a bit of Fabri-Tac underneath along the bottom, but there's nothing along the top. So if they wanted to, they could probably ease that out and replace it with whatever they want, or else they can just glue right over top and put their own on it. Anyhow, so I loved the way that worked. I toyed with trying to clean it up a bit more, and I thought, well, maybe I should. And so I got out several different kinds of cleansers. I raided my husband's workbench, and no, that, whatever all this paint, and I think that's stain. Oh, I'm right off. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, that's on for the long haul. And afterwards I thought, what was I thinking? Because that just looks cool. It's the whole idea behind a junk journal, right? It's junk. So I'm happy with how that turned out. Let me show you the inside. I did go ahead and put in all the tabs on the 7 signatures, and I'm happy with how they turned out. What I've done is I put an edge down the front page of each one with a torn edge, and inked, and then every one of them gets a different tab. So here, this one I used red paper, the red polka dots. I love this paper. I have one sheet, and I'm being very, very frugal with it. This do is out of the original book, so you can see on the back here, it's actually from the original book. This paper here with the working gear is from the original book. And then I put a black tab there. All the tabs are different. Some are blank so that you can put your own title on it. This is from the original book, Check Valve. Some different scrapbooking paper there to make an edging on that one. Let's see here. This is also from the original book. And then some scrapbooking paper made that tab. This tab was made from the original book. And then I put red polka dots there. And then for the final one, there's the red and white stripe. I guess it looks like ticking fabric. And a red tab there. So I was happy with how those turned out. I'm still enjoying these threads, so they have not had a haircut, and trust me, that's very tempting for me because I'm actually a hairstylist, and if you come too close to me, sometimes you could get your hair trimmed. So what I want to do today, just real quick before I get working on pardon me, before I get working on the Blue Book Pilgrim's Progress, I want to put some charms actually in the front upper corner here, I think. Yes. Rather than, there's just so many signatures with 7 signatures in there. Oh, this is something I did. I don't know if you can see that. Let me make sure I've got it clear. The headers and footers, the little ribbon. I mean, usually in a hand sewn, hand-bound book, like the really, really amazing ones, that's all threads. That's all individually threads, which I don't do. But I did put some ribbon in there to look like it, and it's red and white striped. I don't know if you can see that, but I really love how that looked. I love when there's just little secret things in a book that, just those little details that make me happy. Anyhow, so I don't want to put an eyelet on this spine. It's so pretty. Let me make sure. This spine is just so pretty. I want to leave that alone. But I do want, I think I want to put an eyelet there. And I want to hang a key and some charms off of it. So I already picked, I picked this key, and I picked that little chain out and that eyelet. This is my box of metal stuff that I've collected over time. This makes me mad, but I'm mad at myself because I caved in and I bought this kit of chains and the little ball chain locks, those things, from a very, very popular junk journal supplier whose initials are TH. And I have a love-hate relationship because he's making great money for his hard work, but still, I hate having to cave in and buy it. Mind you, I will forever, forever love the person for distressing. So, anyhow, I caved in because I wanted ball chains, and I wasn't finding anywhere. So I caved in. I bought a pack, this little pack, and then of course I hit the mother lode slowly but surely over the course of about the past 3 weeks. I mean, look at all this. It's ridiculous. It's as if the universe is going, ha, you caved in. So anyhow, so this is all my stuff that I gather mostly at my little weigh-in shop where I put them on the scale and I can I can just get little odds and ends that often are hard to find. I'm really grateful for that. I've even got some bits and pieces of old watches. I'm looking forward to finding a way to put like an old watch onto a cover one day. Wouldn't that look cool? So I got those. These are those keys that I got last weekend that my daughter found on the Facebook Market page. So they're really, really pretty, eh? But I want this guy to look a little more industrial. So, and I've got things off drawers. I can't wait to use that. Anyhow, so I'm happy with out of all my keys and stuff here, I am happy with this key and this chain. So I just wanted to show you my stash, but I do want to maybe put a couple more things on that. So here's my other stash. I'm very fortunate, and I know it. I'm grateful, and I hope it never goes away. But my little stores in my town are just so amazing. And every once in a while, they'll just put out jars of little jewelry tchotchke, and it's hit and miss. And they're not cheap. Usually their jars of jewelry type stuff will go for $5. So you're really taking a chance. But I haven't been disappointed yet. This is all, I'm not going to use any of these today, but I thought I'd show you. This is all the little, you know those pins, like lapel pins? I just got all kinds. Here's one. Oh, I love it. It's a Mary Kay consultant 10-year. Oh, it looks like she was also an Avon. Oh, okay. Lots of cool things in here. I love this. If I ever do a garden, the next time I do a garden junk journal, look at that. Isn't that cute? And it's just a little pin. And you can just pin it right through your front cover or a middle page. Lots of cute little pins. I think that's from the Children's Miracle Network. Anyhow, so just doing a little show and tell here. Now, this is where I think I might find something. I just want something maybe with a little bit of color to put on that key. Here's all my little birdies that I love, those little birdies. Maybe one of these. I don't think I've even opened that yet. Okay. I don't know. We'll see. I want just a little bit of color. Yeah, maybe you. I like that one. Okay. All right, this is the one that's going. I don't want this one. You're going back in. Don't be sad. You'll get used one day. All right, and then something else. Another one. Here's all my little charms that I made that went nuts on Instagram. Boy, everyone went crazy over these when when one day I had that spur of the moment. Oh, I can make a little book charm out of the back of a little golden book cover. I think I want a puzzle piece though. I have some puzzle pieces that are maps. Yeah, I like that one. No, I like this one better. That's got reds and sort of that golden yellow. This is from the same puzzle, but it's different. Okay, that's good. All right, I'm happy. That was quick. So, oh, come on. I'll do you later. All right, so I'm going to put a hole in up here. And I'm going to hold my breath. These sort of things make me nervous because if I mess it up, like this whole thing is so pretty and it's sort of one of those, all right, you got to do it. It's like getting a tattoo, right? Oh boy, I hope this works. So I want that probably about there. But I want to make sure that if I put it here, yeah, that's a good spot. That'll be fine. And there's already eyelets here, so if there's thickness, that's already taken up some thickness too, so it's not going to be too bulky. All right. You may have noticed I have a little tea towel under here. I do get to a point with my junk journals when I'm working on the interior, but I've already sewn the signatures in, that I will lay them on a clean tea towel. I have had times in the past, even though this is mucky, I like this mucky, but I don't want it muckier. And I have had heartbreaking times where I've actually put a beautiful book into like some distress ink, got on my desk that I couldn't see or didn't know, or got onto, maybe I was working on my cutting pad and there was glue on the cutting pad, and next thing I know I flipped it over and I had glue on the front cover, and it's heartbreaking. So whenever I can, when I'm at this point where I'm working on a book, I'll actually lay down a little tea towel and work on it that way. All right, so let's see. I'm just gonna eyeball it by gosh and by golly. I'm gonna put you, I think, right there. All right, well, let's hold our breath. Back when they used to use guns for earrings, I used to pierce ears all the time. I don't know how I did it now that I'm thinking about it. But, all right, let's do it. All right, too late to go back now. Yay! Okay, I'm happy. Holy cow. That's nerve-wracking. I hate this about my crocodile. When the little chunk still sticks in there. Drives me nuts. But otherwise, I do love my crocodile, and it was well worth the money. Now, you'll see here, I keep my numbers for the large eyelets and the small eyelets because I was just constantly forgetting. So now I know this is a large eyelet, so I need A. Hold on. There's A. And then I need 1. That's 2. That's 1. There we go. So that's A1. And let's put this in. Love my crocodile. Very good investment. Any of you who are just getting started and you're wondering what you should spend your money on, I certainly think a crocodile is a very good investment. I use mine every day. All right, ready? There we go. Yep, I use mine every day, whether it's on bookmarks or on tags or like here, that was done. These little details here, they're just tiny eyelets that I did before I glued this right onto the page. And I did that with my crocodile. It does teeny ones and it does larger ones. And then I've been very lucky. All my eyelets, people, I guess, get tired of the crocodiles because I've never had to buy, so far, I've never had to buy eyelets. Mind you, I've got a gazillion teeny ones, and someday this is it for my large eyelets. So I have to make these ones, you know, I've got to decide whether it's large eyelet worthy. Like Seinfeld with Elaine Bennis. Alrighty, so let's play with this guy. So I'm going to leave this on the bulb pin. But I'm going to put, come on, just going to make sure I'm going to put you on there, and then I'm going to put you through there. I'm going to also put you through there so that he's, no, I don't like that. All right, off you come. We'll find a better way. I think maybe you'll just, come on. Is that the wrong side? Oh, of course. All right, so maybe I'll just put you through there. Yeah, I'm happy with that. All right. Now I'm going to put this on for now just so that we can all see what it looks like. But then I'll be taking it off while I finish the insides. There's no ephemera in this book yet. I do need to do all my ode to index cards. Oh, I like that. Okay, I'm happy. Now I'm trying to remember who did this because I didn't think of this. So this is my tribute to, I believe it was Two Silver Oranges. I'll look it up and I'll find out. I think she's the one that started putting a charm up here on the top of the front cover, and I just immediately fell in love with it. So I am, I'm definitely being inspired by her vision and doing my version of it, which is completely all right in the arts community. It's when you pass it off as somebody else's that that's not right. But if you say, oh, this person inspired me, that was one of the first things that I did when I was in high school. At the time, Toronto, the Art Gallery of Ontario, which is a huge world-famous art gallery, the Art Gallery of Ontario, which is in downtown Toronto, they received a one-time, grant. So what they did was they started up a Saturday art class, and only 30 students from all over all of metropolitan Toronto got chosen to be part of this Saturday morning art class. We had to submit portfolios, and we had to be, of course, recommended by our art teacher, and they had to look through our work that we'd already done. And then what this was, because I got in, was every Saturday morning down in the vaults inside the Art Gallery of Ontario, which of course makes sense now, but I didn't know existed. There are huge vaults down there where they keep artwork that isn't being displayed upstairs in the galleries. And these vaults, they're massive, and it's really cool down in the basement of the Art Gallery of Ontario. And I'm sure other art galleries that are, you know, similar massiveness. Anyhow, one of these vaults, they emptied it out, and then they literally, they got actual working artists to teach us. And I got exposed to so many different media there that I didn't have a chance to do just in my regular art class, in my regular high school art class. It was an amazing, amazing opportunity. It didn't cost me a thing. I just had to show up on Saturday mornings, and it was hard for me because where I lived, I had to get up at like 6 a.m. on Saturdays all by myself. And I had to take the bus to get to the subway because I lived out in the suburbs, and I got on the subway and I took the subway all the way in to Toronto. It took me well over an hour to get there and then home again afterwards, but it was so wonderful. And here's a cool little thing, was at the end of our 2-year period, they allowed the students from this select art class that went on for 2 years, they allowed us to have our own show in the Art Gallery of Ontario. We were actually, there was a little area set aside for us that we were able to display the work that we had done for those 2 years. And I had 3 pieces on display. I can say that's my claim to fame, is that at one point I had a showing in the Art Gallery of Ontario. So there you go. Little silly things that you learn about people. Anyhow, and that's where, you know what, I'm wandering off topic because I was talking about inspiration. And one of the first things that the first artist, her name was Kucha. And the first thing that she had us do was she threw out a whole bunch of art magazines onto the table, and she said, pick out a master's painting, an old master's painting, she said, and you need to copy it. She said, I want to see your work. Get out your paints or your pastels or whatever it is you want to work in, but I want you to actually copy that painting. She said, because inspiration is what gets the juices flowing for you to finally decide what it is that you love. And I remember I chose a painting by Michelangelo called Donny Rondo. I'll have to find it again. It was the Holy Family, and this beautiful circle around Mary and Joseph and baby Jesus. So anyhow, and I don't even have that painting anymore. I don't know where it went. Life happens, and I was a teenager. So I have a little bit of my art left. Maybe one day I'll pull out my portfolio and show some of it. So long story short, I'm done with this today. I would love to get into this and start putting some ephemera in, but this is not urgent right now. Little DIY is going to have to wait because I have to go work in Pilgrim's Progress. Where are you, Pilgrim? No, I can't find Pilgrim's Progress. You're just going to have to take my word for it. So I'm going to get going. I hope everyone has a wonderful day today. Thanks for visiting and listening to me wander on and on. I hope you have a great day, and we'll talk soon. Take care. Bye.